Hi everyone, thanks for joining me for another episode of Nasdaq Spotlight. I'm your host, Emily Drewry, and today I'm here with LD Salmanson, CEO and co-founder of Cherre. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
So you're here at MarketSite today with Intel Capital. We're really thrilled to have you and everyone today. So let's talking about your company, Cherre. So what do you do and why did you start this company?
Great. So we started this company about 3.5, 4 years ago. We did something similar in a private equity space, company that we sold to Oppenheimer, bringing together multiple disparate data sources to make better decisions. And that's what we do today at Cherre for the real estate industry. So we help our clients, the largest banks, insurance companies, hedge funds in the world, make better decisions with real estate data. So by collecting all the public data, connecting to all their paid data feeds, and finding their internal data, by connecting all that data together, they have a single source of truth to make better decisions and better underwriting at the end of the day.
So you're disrupting a big industry. It's $50 trillion, right? So using technology. So what have some of the hurdles been and have you overcome them?
Yeah, so the real estate industry, kind of very similar to a lot of other traditional industries, have been doing things the same way for a long time. They've been doing it really well. And they really want to move into kind of this new data-driven world, but the challenge is really connecting all that data to the point where they trust that data that's connected to make decisions has been a challenge. And always, our clients are obviously large enterprise, and the same challenges every startup has working with large enterprise. You know, there's a compliance issue, there's security, there's this company disappear tomorrow I'm betting a lot of money on. So we have all the regular challenges that startups face when they work with enterprise companies, and add on top of that the challenges of a very traditional industry that really is kind of averse to risk, and being able to get them to a point where they get comfortable, try something new, and then be able to see the ROI in that pretty quickly.
Absolutely. So, and of course, real estate isn't the first industry to have been disrupted by tech. We've got financial operations. So they've gone through the big data evolution. Like, what does this look like for companies in the industry, and then how does that trickle down to consumers?
Yeah, so it's always funny to me, right? So we think about the financial services industry as one that's gone through this change, starting maybe in the 80s up until today. And if you would have asked a stockbroker maybe in the 80s or 90s to imagine the world we live in today of electronic trading, of this room being a studio, not a trading floor, right? They would think we're crazy. And if you ask someone today on a trading floor to imagine what the trading world looked like back in the 80s, they would equally think that we're crazy. And I think the same thing's going to happen to the real estate industry. We're not going to have this overnight, everything changed and the world is different. We're going to have a slow, gradual shift from very manual, human-heavy, relationship-driven type of businesses to very data-driven, eventually event-driven businesses in the real estate world as well. And that's what we're seeing here. So it starts typically with aggregation, breaking down of silos in the data world. It'll then move very quickly into workflow automation and type of processes that start happening faster, into maybe electronic trading and maybe eventually event-driven trading. So we're seeing that same type of process happening today, and we're in that really beginning of that process, which is breaking down those data silos and making that data deliverable to our clients.
So you're talking about it being a gradual process. Is this like a decade, a few decades? Do you have any idea?
Great question. I don't honestly know. It happens faster than we predict. The first step is usually the longest and hardest step, which is breaking down those data silos, and typically workflow automation and the rest follow very quickly. In the financial services world, we saw that happen probably in the first 10, 15 years was the massive change, and then after that we saw a lot of models building on top of it. I think it will happen a little faster today just because innovation allows us to do things that we couldn't do even 15 years ago, the amount of compute power, right, part of our work with Intel, be able to get to that type of compute power we just couldn't do 15, 20 years ago, and the workloads have changed. So I'm excited it's going to be a little faster this time around.
Absolutely. So Cherre's based here in New York. You mentioned your office is nearby, and you expanded into Canada too. So where in the world are you going next? Where's the biggest need?
Yeah, so I think, no disrespect to the folks in Canada, it's kind of just an extension of the U.S. market in many ways. But Europe's definitely high on our list. The vast majority of our clients are global clients. They're looking for solutions that solve their entire portfolios or their entire realm of data analytics, and that would almost always include also Europe and Asia. It's going to take some time to get to Asia, but Europe is definitely a little earlier on that list. So as we roll out with more clients that are global, we're going to be pulled into Europe and main markets in Europe pretty quickly.
It's a very exciting expansion.
I hope so.
Well, thank you so much for joining me, and excited to watch you continue to grow in the years to come.
Thank you for having me. Looking forward to being here again.
Absolutely. Emily Drewry here for Nasdaq Spotlight. Thanks for tuning in.